threw past right past Mookie's face, that basically was going to change the whole dynamics of the game, because Rick Porcello possibly was not going to be able to pitch inside to a lot of these guys in case one of them drifted in and hit him, and then he's tossed out of a game. It really, potentially could have changed the flow of the game, and then if Porcello were to have, hit someone or knocked him down, kind of like Mookie was, it's just going to get messier. And Alex Cora
because on no planet he's trying to hit Gardner.
Yeah,
on no planet.
On an 0-2,
put on the first guy of the game on an 0-2 count, nonetheless.
Yes, absolutely.
But I mean, I don't think the umpire thought that Porcello was trying to hit Gardner. I don't think he thought that.
It's like the retaliation.
The right mind would think that Porcello was trying to hit Gardner, and I don't even think it was a fastball that he hit Gardner on. It might have been a breaking ball that didn't break.
Right. The overreaction though came on the Severino hit though.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't even hit it.
Well, right. It was that pitch.
Right. And basically it, and I think that's what Cora was so upset about, was that he came out and was like, "Why are you throwing out warnings already? I mean, we didn't even have any time to, not retaliate, but like you said, Terry, like, our pitchers need a pitch inside." And
it's like we didn't even do anything wrong yet. It's like,
right.
It's like when your older brother does something and your mom's like, "Well, neither one of y'all can do it." It's like,
right,
we didn't do anything, Mom.
Yeah.
And, I think whatever his name was, Hammurabi, whatever, the home plate umpire, when he issued those warnings, I think he knew the animosity between the Red Sox and the Yankees. He'd seen it earlier this year in April, and I think he was trying to keep this series in control, but I think he did it too quickly, because you can't do it in the first inning. I mean, that was ridiculous. And if he really thought Severino was throwing at Mookie, and I don't think Severino was trying to hit Mookie. I think he was just trying to send a message, throw a little chin music, which is okay, in my opinion at least. But there was clear intent with Severino. But if you really thought Severino was trying to hit Mookie, you don't even have to give out warnings. You could just toss Severino right then and there. Glad he didn't, because that's also ridiculous. But
right. Basically, what I'm getting at is it's a second-year umpire who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, doesn't know the fucking history between the two teams, and Alex Cora was coming out to state his case, and the umpire just completely lost control of it and just changed the whole dynamic of the game. And then you go back last weekend to the Minnesota Twins series. I don't know if you saw Doug Eddings that day. Kind of had a terrible day calling pitches and took a lot of abuse from Brock Holt, and I forget which Twins player kind of got in his face, and people were chirping, out of the dugouts. No, because I think he was traded that night. Yeah, it might have been Rosario. Yeah, it could have been. But the difference between Eddings and Hamari was that Eddings took the abuse and kind of retaliated and didn't overreact, despite the fact he was calling a bad game. And I respect him for that. There was a little bit of back and forth. He didn't overreact. He didn't try to, affect the game, and, take certain players out. And, I think Adam Hamari kind of needs to chill out. And you saw the crew chief immediately dive in there to try to, diffuse the situation. But it worked out. Red Sox won 4-1. And Ron Renicky, it was kind of cool to see him, kind of call the shots, and he was the one who brought Mookie into second base, and I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And And I've actually wrote blog entries on how that could have been a really intriguing possibility. And, of course, people flip out and whatever, overreact. But
why are they flipping out? It's just another option.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And like I said before about how Cora likes to have his players be versatile and play multiple positions, sort of like another head coach in New England by the name of Bill Belichick. He likes to have his players be versatile because it gives him more options in terms of substitutions late in games and how he's going to be able to use the bench. Like you said, it was a little choppy, wasn't smooth, but he got the job done. And I've actually read somewhere, I think it was from Chris Smith from Mask Live. He said that Mookie, in addition to taking fly balls before every game, he also takes ground balls too with the infield. So it's not like he kind of lost how to field the ground ball. He still knows how to do that and play the position. But it's definitely cool to see Mookie coming in and playing second. And that's actually something that I've wondered ever since he came back into the league. If Pedroia was out, injured, or needed an off day, I've wondered are they going to put Mookie at second since he came up as a second baseman all the way into AAA? But John Farrell never did that, and I'm glad. And it was interesting to see Renicky do that on Friday.
Yeah, it certainly was. And, he's a former big league manager with the Milwaukee Brewers, and I think he's enjoying the ride with Boston. And who knows, this could lead to another, top spot in a major league dugout and, elsewhere. It's, everybody knew, in Astros Nation last year that they were probably going to lose Alex Cora. And, we knew, we were going to lose Torey Lovullo, unfortunately, and that never should have happened. Farrell should have been tossed at the end of 2016. And, and I would take, despite the historic season we're having, albeit in a historically bad American League year, I still would take Torey Lovullo, over Alex Cora. I love the aggressiveness and, the way he commands his staff and just seems to get so much out of, not quite as much as, what the Dodgers, Astros, Red Sox, Yankees have. And, Lovullo has a really competitive team. So it'll be interesting to see. And Alex Cora could rise above that. It's just too soon, and we're not really going to know until October when he has to make real decisions. Tonight's game, he really poorly managed that seventh inning, but it's going to get swept under the rug because everybody's going to be talking about the walk-off. And, and like I said, there's growing pains, and he might end up being, I'm never going to like him more than I like Francona, but he could be a close second, at some point, but I'm not ready to anoint him already, despite racking up the win total to almost 80 games, which will probably come tomorrow, actually, or Tuesday, rather.
I don't think, while fans probably will sweep the seventh inning under the rug and maybe even the media, I know Alex Cora is not sweeping that under the rug, and I think he's going to, if that sort of situation comes up again, say in September or October, I think he manages the bullpen differently and tries to learn from his mistakes. But also, it was something that earlier in the year, something that I really gained respect for in Cora is that after Joe Kelly blew game number 1 against the Rays, Cora goes back to Kelly 2 days later in the third game of the season with the Red Sox clinging to a 1-run lead, and Kelly got the job done. And that's something that I kind of respect, because I don't think a lot of managers would do that. Like 2 days after a pitcher just absolutely imploded and blew a game. And I think that move really put Joe Kelly on his run at the beginning of the season, where it was really good, it gave him confidence. So that's something that I think Cora does really well. That's miles ahead of whatever John Farrell could do. Is that he has faith in his guys, and he tries to find opportunities to give his guys confidence. And I think that's really helped this team become really close and really rally behind Alex Cora. And the players, they seem to love him. And I think that's really made this chemistry in this clubhouse really, really special, that can lead to a World Series title come Halloween.
Yeah, I love the fact that he is the anti-Farrell in a lot of ways, some of which you just pointed out. But, there's a difference between science experiments with, April versus September, when things are really on the lines.
Definitely.
So, and Kelly, obviously they finally had to kind of pull the plug on his previous late inning role, and and now hopefully he'll just be brought back to a situational role. And I think he could thrive in that type of a thing. I think the mystery is solved here. He's never going to be an eighth inning guy, an everyday eighth inning guy, I should say, and he's never going to be a closer. So just trying to get him in there situationally, hopefully not on back-to-back days. And I think you could see him go on a really nice run with his ERA not through the roof as it was for much of July. So it's just too early for me to anoint him. There's a lot of encouraging things, and we'll see. I'm trying to like him, but I'm not gonna. I liked Farrell the first year, and I celebrated the fact that he got hired, and then I wanted to slit my fucking wrists, for the last 3 years of his fucking job here. So that's why I've learned my lesson. I tried to like Bobby Valentine too. I did. I really did. I didn't hate him until April 20th or so. But
yeah, I realized that John Farrell's an idiot in game 3 of the World Series, when he
let Workman. Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to do a double switch. That's when I knew that he's a terrible manager. And Terry Francona deserved that Manager of the Year award over John Farrell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they got, if you're talking about 2013, they, out of nowhere got into a wild card. But then the Rays took him out of it. But still, Francona, another guy who gets more out of less, and the only guy to ever manage a team from a 3-0 deficit in a league championship series. So that is good. So getting back to this series, Yankee, I don't have any live shots of New York City. I don't know if it's on fire. I don't know if they're like rioting in the streets right now, but they just got brutally fucking swept, and now it's 9.5 games back?
9.5.
And Aaron Boone got stuffed in a locker by Alex Cora in terms of managing. It's just night and day between who the better manager is, and it's clearly Alex Cora between the two. And Aaron Boone only got the Yankees job because he hit a home run in 2003.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, and the ironic thing is, I think Yankee Nation hates Aaron Boone more than Red Sox Nation does at this point. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, because Aaron Boone basically, just because he's such a bad manager, that the Red Sox completely steamrolled the Yankees this series.
They did. They absolutely did.
Why Yankee fans hate Aaron Boone more than Red Sox fans at this point.
6-1 versus the Yankees at Fenway this year, by the way.
Right.
I think that's damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and also,